So this hand is actually pretty fantastic. So this is kind of an enabler in our combo deck here. This is a constant, which is kind of like an enchantment if you're coming from Magic, that says whenever you play an action, all cards in all zones you control with the same name as that action get -1 cost. So basically, we have a bunch of actions that we play that cycle themselves back into our deck, and as we play them, eventually they become completely free. Snapcaster wasn't out if they wait on my activation because I need to activate at the end of their turn. So this is, I'm not quite sure what I want to do on my first turn here, so I'm going to go ahead and lead on a Fate Weave resource. So this is a kind of a tapped land. It doesn't make a resource that I can use this turn, and it lets me make a decision here when I play it. I can either stack a resource on top of my deck or a non-resource on top of my deck. So we're going to guaranteed draw a non-resource next turn. To be fair, everything here is much more beautiful than the Pyromancer tokens were. So my opponent's playing a 2-shard aggressive deck. One of the other things that's different about Hex, so you'll see my opponent and I have different starting life totals here. When you build a deck, you pick what's called a champion for your deck, and then that champion not only determines your starting life total, but it gives you something to do with your resource. So every time I play a resource, I get a little ticker down here, and my champion here says for 3 charges, so when I've played 3 resources, I can draw a card and then discard a card. I get a loot. My opponent's champion power here says you summon a Dreadling for 3 charges for every underworld ship you control, so it makes these little 1/1 haste guys that attack for a turn. Opponent starts a little bit aggressive here. They might be able to run us out. How are games played? Similar to leagues or a ladder system? So Hex has a ladder system for the competitive play that they have, and then they also have tournaments that occur as well. So I'm going to play this Runebind card, and what it does is it picks my opponent's card up off the table or the chain, and it turns it into a Mysterious Rune, which is a constant that slides off to the side here that lets them replay this when they draw a land. So at some point they'll draw a land and they'll get to recast this, but until they draw a land, it's over in a timeout. So Hex, the Constructed, is completely free to play if you own a deck and you earn prizes on the ladder, and the ultimate prize for the ladder is that at the end of every ladder season, the top, what number of players? Top 64 players on the Constructed and Limited ladder each get an invite to a 128-player $5,000 tournament. So when my Thunderfield Seer here, this is a good example of like a really simple mechanic that couldn't be done in paper. It has a mechanic called Prophecy that says the next action my deck gets, draw a card. So the next action that I draw is going to draw an additional card when I play it out. Yeah, right? It's nice to be able to just like try out different deck ideas. And from a content production standpoint, I was thinking about it today. It's kind of annoying that like I'm locked into a league for 5 matches, because like sometimes I only want to stream 3 or 4 matches with a deck. Like 3 or 4 matches with the deck takes like an hour and a half sometimes. And like after an hour and a half, I'd kind of like a change of pace a little bit. Anyone know the approximate dollar price of this deck? I don't offhand. I'm not actually sure what the staples cost these days. It's probably somewhere in the $100-ish range. I'm actually not sure. These might be cheap now. Cremate my guy. Yep. We might get run over this game. Opponent's aggressive draw is pretty strong here. Okay. So this lets them sacrifice troops. They scrounging something else here? Yep, that's pretty good. Ancient's around 800 plats. Yeah, it's probably about $100 to buy outright if you don't have anything. So we go down to 4 here. I think we're just dead. We'll take a couple draws here. Get our draw step plus our champion power. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit too clunky for that just yet. Let's go ahead and board here to bring in our extra copy of Transmogrifade and our copy of Exarch of the Egg. This is a 1/3 with lethal, so when it deals any amount of damage to something, it dies. Gives us a little bit more game against this more aggressive strategy. Gonna trim some of our top end here a little bit, be a little bit less clunky. Yeah, the TCG browser's been buggy since the latest update, which is weird because like my API tool is working fine, so I'm not sure what TCG browser's issue is. It hasn't sunk. Oh wait, it did show up. Sweet. All right, so it's on there. Oh, TCG browser estimates this one's a little bit more on the expensive side. It says 140 as an estimate. Oh, transmogrifades are expensive, right? Seems okay. It's got Runebind, interact with my opponent a little bit. Having the ices are not free, so like the fact that all of our shards here are coming into play exhausted is a little bit awkward for us. But opponent mulliganed and we're on the play, so I think I'm actually going to ice for a resource to the top of my deck here, just so I'm likely to get a non-slow resource at some point this game. And we're going to stack our next few draws, most likely. So if we take a resource now, we can take non-resources with these Blood Ice down the line here. We do also need a second Sapphire threshold, so my champion power requires double Sapphire to activate. Yellow Hat with the host. Welcome to the folks coming over from Nassif's stream. We just pivoted from playing Magic here to playing some Hex TCG. It's an all digital TCG that's similar to Magic, but it uses some digital mechanics to reduce variance nicely here. Although, not a good showing for Hex. It looks like my client's hung. Reload the client. Haven't had that happen in a while. Is there a Tempo or Jundi deck in Hex? So, Hex just had a new set release, so we don't really have a defined constructed format for them yet in terms of the standard format. There's a lot of people just trying a lot of different things. Traditionally speaking, there's been a grindy kind of mid-range deck every season in Hex, but there aren't always tempo decks that are playable. We played a tempo-y deck last night on stream for a little bit, but it didn't seem particularly good. Yeah, weird. I guess I should also interject that a hang there might not be Hex's fault. So, for those that are not familiar, I am playing Hex on a Linux computer using Wine. So, that's not exactly a supported platform. So, there's a real possibility that the hang's happening because I'm using Linux. But I'm not about to install Windows on my computer for just Hex. Everything else works fine on here. I guess technically we run Windows in a VM, but for Moto. Yeah, there's a clock. It's under my deck list. So, my clock was running and my opponent's was not. I'm going to go ahead and play this and put a non-resource on top of my deck here, I think. Just going to hold this Runebind up. So one of the things here, Arcane Focus, lets us look at the top two cards of our deck and put one of them into our hand. I think because we're putting a guaranteed non-resource on top of our deck this turn, I want to wait to focus. Sweet. They don't have a play here. That would be great for us. The Blood Wild decks generally are based on Runebind Hierophant, which are reasonable rabbit decks. I think I'm just going to burn this Runebind. If they don't draw a resource for at least a turn, that'll be great for us. And this keeps at least one attack off you if they draw a resource right away. So I think that's a fine play. Play Comcast, right? We are streaming from T-Mobile. As well. We're probably just going to stream from T-Mobile through the end of the month until we have fiber. Exarch of the Egg is a pretty fantastic draw here. Our opponent's got a 2-1, so my 1-3 lines up really well against it. I'm going to go ahead and play this Blood Ice and put another non-resource on top of my deck, so I get to guarantee draw more action next turn. The fact that I drew this Exarch of the Egg means I'm kind of sad that I runebound to 2-2, but it is what it is. Fate Weave is so good. I enjoy stacking my deck. And they have a slow shard here, so they're not going to get to jam a Crusader down my throat, which is fantastic for us. They can't really make profitable attacks with this Deathseeker into the Exarch of the Egg, so we might have a chance to actually do our thing this game, which would be sweet. Fate Weave is infinitely better than Scry. I agree. I was on that same line, Marty. I was like, this is probably similar, and it's just like, it's better, obviously, but not by that much, but it is so much better than Scrying. It is ridiculous. Like, on terms of power level, it is so much more powerful. Kind of surprised my opponent didn't hit their champion power to make a thing there. They must not have any scrounge cards in their hand. So Bounty of the Magus here is an Escalate card, which is the combo cards this deck is based around. So what Escalate does is, this starts at 1. So the first time this pays 3 to draw 1 card, and then it puts itself back into my deck and makes all my Bounties of the Magus draw more cards. So the second time I play this, I'm going to draw 2 cards, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and play Thunderfield Seer here, and I'm going to go ahead and play Starcaller Ancient out. And so Thunderfield Seer does the Prophecy mechanic into my deck, and then Starcaller Ancient says whenever I draw a Prophesied card, it copies it. So if the top card of my deck is the action that this Prophesied onto, I'm going to hit my champion power here and get 2 copies of it. Oh, I have to play this out because this requires double Sapphire. So Prophecy, please. Drew a Shard, that's sad. Now this is a touch awkward because this doesn't count as actually drawing the card with Arcane Focus, so it doesn't copy. So Arcane Focus for Starcaller Ancients is a bit of a non-bow. So opponent, this is a cycling resource basically, so they discarded it to draw a card and make me lose 2 life. It's pretty good for me. We got a reasonable board state here. My 1/1 can block here, this can block here, and this can trade here. So like we could basically trade boards and have a 1/3 left over, which is nice. We've got 2. This one draws 2 because it's prophesized, and then this one will make this one draw 2. So we've got 2 draw 2s in my hand here. Made some Dreadlings, sure. This is probably an attack with just the Dreadlings, yep. They have a scrounge card, they're going to go kind of crazy next turn. I'm going to go ahead and play this Bounty of the Magus. Hopefully we hit a non-slow resource so we can play this Exarch, which we did. Play this Exarch out. We have a lot of blockers. I think opponents only attack twice, so hopefully they don't have Lasgar's Vengeance. So they have non-slow shard Lasgars. We could be hosed here. Cycling a coin, that's good for us. Really want to draw a copy of Violet's Caress at this point so we can get that going. I guess another Prophecy card wouldn't be bad. Lanupaw Sight would be a sweet hit. We get to go ahead and... Yep, so they scrounged that. Scrounge means when they play this, they can void a troop from their crypt and give it a bonus. This has Rage 1, and then my opponent's deck has cards that trigger when they scrounge. So when they scrounged, these made 1/1s, and this got plus power. I think Woolly Mo is okay. I wouldn't be surprised if it's constructed playable. So I'm going to go ahead and trade here. Eat here, eat here. I'm going to take 2 from Crush and then 2 here. So I'm going to take 4 down to 11. Alright, play Thunderfield Seer. And then, play this Bounty of the Magus. Hopefully draw a Prophesized card so we get to double it up with Starcaller Ancient. And did not, because we're very unlucky. Get to draw another card here with our champion power. Come on, Violet's Caress. Alright, Theorize is decent. So Theorize is going to copy because it's Prophesized. So this card draws us 2 cards, makes us discard a card. There's a Violet's Caress. Nice. Then we draw an extra card here afterwards. Do you want this? Okay, if we don't get Lasgard's Vengeance out of the game this turn, we are probably in a pretty good spot. That being said, like, there are a bunch of cards into their deck, so, like, they probably have a Lasgard's in their hand. That's why they made a big attack last turn. Yeah, you're correct, actually, Tom. I could be +1 life here. You're right. You are 10 out of 10 correct, Tom. If I would have double blocked there, I'd be +1 life right now. That's really good. This is a 5/5 with Swift Strike, that when it dies, it creates a Blam Sack, which deals 3 damage to me every turn. I guess I have a Transmog for that, so it really doesn't matter. They might get aggressive here. We'll see how much they want to push. Yep, they're getting aggressive. Alright, so block here, eat here, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to 4. Remember that time we said we could be +1? So this card starts as an 8 cost, and every time my opponent attacks with one of their troops, it gets -1 cost permanently. So they attacked with a bunch of guys, and this was now free. So we are exactly dead. And we possibly could have stabilized that game had I made Tom's block last turn to be +1 life, because next turn I get to Transmogrifade their dwarf, plus play an Exarch of the Egg to block, plus have a Violet's Caress. Yeah, he must have drawn it that turn. I agree. So, but if I would have taken the line to have +1 life there, I would have been in an okay spot there. Like, not guaranteed to win by any means. They had draws to kill me, because I'd have been at effectively 2 once I gamed with Violet's Caress. But, like, I would have gotten to see a lot of cards there and had a very real chance that game if I would have maximized my life total. What is the best way to get into Hex after tutorial? It depends on what you want to do, Astrobake. If you're a competitive player like me and you have some money to spend, I would recommend just purchasing a deck outright. Once you have a constructed deck that's reasonably competitive, you can just play on the constructed ladder and in the free-to-play constructed tournaments as much or as little as you want. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Stores like hexprimal.com, who have this discount code above my head, you can just paste a list of cards in there, and then you purchase them, and then they send them to you via the in-game mail system, and you can put your deck together. If you're into limited, you could buy some platinum and start playing in the limited queues. If you want to be a free-to-play player, you can also just take the starting cards that they give you, and there is a PvE single-player campaign that you can play through and grind the in-game currency and kind of turn that into and earn the account rewards as you go to get some free limited entry and kind of snowball from there. So there's a lot of different avenues. You kind of build your own adventure once you've made your way through the tutorial. Personally, I took the constructed route because I enjoy playing constructed most of all. Even when I enjoy limited, I still like it a lot less than constructed on average, so I like this current constructed format. Seems pretty sweet. I'm excited to see what other teams come up with for the Hex CCS 5K that's going to be happening later this weekend. It's on Saturday. So, because the things in Hex have real value, they can't give you a ton of stuff for, like, absolutely free. When you're grinding, like, you're averaging, like, I don't know, $1 or so per hour. So, like, if you enjoy playing it, you should do it. But, like, if you don't enjoy playing the PvE campaign, you should probably just, like, work a couple extra hours at your job and then buy a constructed deck. Seems a little bit medium, but it's got 2 Syzygy in it. This is kind of our combo enabler, so hopefully it's reasonable. We've got Runebind, and if we hit a Blood Threshold, we've got Violet's Caress. We're on the draw here, and if we hit another Sapphire, we can hit our Champion Power, so I think this is fine to keep. Opponents like Marshal Josephina for 4 charges. They make a troop not attack or block for a full turn cycle. Usually this is a Diamond aggressive deck for this champion. Thunderfield Seer is a decent draw. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lead on that, I think. Next turn we can play Syzygy plus hold Runebind up. Apologies, it looks like my... Ooh, a Tri-Shard deck. Is TCG actually a Spellweaver? Is Spellweaver actually a TCG? Is there a buy, sell, trade secondary market? Because honestly, that's one of the things that, like, keeps me back from trying a lot of these games, is, like, not being able to, like, just buy a constructed deck and play the game. Like, I'm not interested in grinding limited a lot of the time, and I'm not the type of person that's going to grind a PvE to free-to-play a game. Like, I want to be able to just purchase a deck outright and play the deck and actually play the game. I don't want to, like, play this mini-game before I get to actually play the game that I want to try and play. And, like, these games being CCGs, a lot of the time that requires me to dump, you know, $50 or $100+ into this game that I'm just, like, never going to get back out. Which, like, that's a lot of money for a collectible card game. Like, you know, you think, like, a AAA video game title is going to cost me $50. So, like, why am I paying more than $50 for something that's, like, you know, might provide less entertainment? Hopefully we draw, like, a Theorize here or a Prophesied card. Oh, Runebind. Sweet. So we have 2 Runebinds here. Actually, so this is kind of sweet. So we're going to Runebind this Dorcas with this one, and then Syzygy triggers, so these other Runebinds are going to be free now, which is super good for us. We did miss on a resource here, which kind of sucks. Especially since we hit our cantrip. So we have more Runebinds here. They drew a resource right away. I'm just going to Runebind this again. $60, sure, yeah, exactly. You understand though, like, it's still, this is, that's actually a really good gem for MC, huh? I hadn't thought about that. I would like to draw a resource, please. Or a cantrip. It's not either of those things. I guess I'll play this other Syzygy out. God, if we had a resource, we were going to go off so hard. Especially if it's a blood resource, we get to play these Caresses. Please miss on a resource this turn. Sweet. So, this doesn't come back if they don't draw a resource, so it's pretty good for us. What are my thoughts on Runebind? I think in the right deck, it's very powerful. I think a lot of people are going to put this card in a lot of decks that it's not very good in. 3-cost Animus is also sweet. Opponent's deck's got some neat ideas going on for sure. Would like to draw blood, please. Could be anything, even a blood shard. Ding. Alright, sweet. So let's do this. Let's play this. And then, so because we have these 2 Syzygies, when I play this, it's going to make my other one free. So let's Violet's Caress, kill this. And now this one's free. And then let's Violet's Caress, kill this, because this escalated, so it does 2 damage now. And I think I'm going to wait on my champ power here. I don't want to Runebind this just yet, because they might draw a resource for their turn. It's like so. So I think I'm going to Runebind both of these now. I'm going to re-Runebind this one, and I'm going to Runebind this other one too, so their troops stop getting larger. You want more to eat? It's almost lunchtime, I suppose. We can have snacks until we get done here. Be anything, even another boat. Alright, that's a Crusader that's bigger. Ooh, they're a Crusader MC deck. That's bold. Says 1 shot. That does not have speed. Okay. Thunderfield Seer. Alright, so let's play Lanupaw Sight here. Let's set my champion power and hopefully draw a free spell or a shard. It was neither of those things. Alright, we might get run out of this game. Hopefully they brick on a shard this turn so these don't come back. Howdy, Elwins. Yep, that's not good for us. So, I mean, I guess that means one of their 2 cards is a resource, but, like, yeah. Oh, geez, I triggered that when I discarded it, too. Is that speed, too? Of course it's speed. They actually need to block here, right? So they don't make a thing. Probably just dead here. There are a series of draws here that allow us to win this game. It involves Violet's Caress being prophesized on top of our deck. Okay, that could actually get us there. Let's start with this. Neither of these things are good for us. Alright, when you play this, copy it. Sure. I think we're still dead. Yeah, I go block, and transmog 2 and die. Okay, Metro, tell me the series of cards in my deck that I draw that makes chumping with the Ancient reasonable to win the game. I think I'm far more likely to draw a Caress the following turn that's prophesized and double it to win the game rather than chumping. So chumping with the Ancient is a play to not lose line, whereas not chumping with the Ancient is a play to win line. Is the best way to articulate what the difference between those two things is there. Do I want these into the unknowns? Into the unknown. I think that's better than these prophecies. Probably. Not actually sure. Actually, I had someone ask that the other day. Do I still have it in my copy paste? I think I do. Yeah, I like this headset. It's just a cheap $30 headset off Amazon. It's been very reasonable to me. So, hopefully we don't draw our Prophesized card next turn, because we can play Starcaller Ancient. So, it's always kind of awkward. Like, hopefully we draw a resource here. We drew a Prophesized card, so we're not going to get to double it up, which is sad. So, now we'll play Theorize out, I think, here. Probably don't need 2 Transmogs. Discarded the right one, right? Oh, thank God. That would be awkward if we discarded the Prophesied one. I'm not going to attack with this, because my opponent has Crypt Curse Knights in their deck with speed. So, potentially blocking a Crypt Curse Knight with speed is very worthwhile. Naive Lackey. Yep, because they have to have Underworld troops in their deck to meet their Crusader quota. Let's play this. I'm actually going to put a resource on top of my deck here, I think. I would like to draw one of those. I might have enough time to get snowballing this game. And this time I'm not attacking because I don't want them to block and draw a card when this dies. A free draw for them, basically. Play this Bounty of the Magus, draw a card. Hey, look, second Transmog. Glad we discarded the other one. Grab second Sapphire here, so we have our champion power. I don't think we really want to use our champion power just yet. Ideally, we want to hold that until we have something to do with the Starcaller Ancient, I think. Like if we draw another Thunderfield Seer, we can go Seer into Ancient into champ power. Skull has speed. They must just have one Crypt Curse Knight if this has speed as well. I'm going to hold this Transmogrifade. Am I? No, I guess this. makes their other things tap my guys. So, like, I want this Exarch of the Egg. Let's take one here. Focus. I'll take a resource at this point rather than another Exarch. Flip a non-resource to the top of my deck, guaranteed. Seems good. Kind of looking for like a Lanupaw site or a Bounty of the Magus at this point in the game, so we can kind of snowball some cards, I think. And we're looking to get one of those multiple draws to turn into a Syzygy so we can start comboing. Altar of Null's Yep, whenever they play a socketed card, they get to draw a card. They're just kind of taking it slow because we're not putting any pressure on them. Little do they know we are a combo deck, so at some point we just go off. Bounty of the Magus, exactly what we asked for. Draw 2. Next bounty will draw 3. Like that, right there. That one's going to draw 3. I'm going to hit my champ power now just in case we hit a non-slow shard. We did not. Do this. I'm probably just going to fire off this Violet's Caress at their face at the end of turn, so that way we can get it back in our deck and start getting these other Violet's Caresses do a little bit more damage. This guy's going to draw us 3 cards, so once we hit the 3-card draw mark, we really start getting some good value. Sure. They have multiple Grimskull Tacticians, though. That's interesting. Block here, plus Caress it. Seems good for us. Because Violet's Caress is quick for some reason. Gain a life, trade with your dork. If we had a Lanupaw site here, or another Seer, that would be insane, because then we could bounty afterwards and draw the Prophesied card, ideally. Another Violet's Caress. Let's just start with bounty, see what we found. Been that for now. That is exactly what we want. So we're going to hold our champion power here. Next turn, we'll go Starcaller Ancient into Thunderfields, or Thunderfield Seer into Starcaller Ancient, and then hit our champion power and hopefully draw a Prophesied card that splits up a whole bunch. Howdy, honey. A third Grimskull Tactician. Okay. And then tap the Exarch and attack again, I assume. Maybe we'll play the Violet's Caress before we do the Thunderfield Seer. Yeah, that way we have a chance to Prophecy onto the Escalate card. Because prophesying onto the Escalate cards is valuable because it allows us to use that prophecy multiple times, basically. Yes, yep, last night we were playing Dreaming Fox, chat. So this one has a little bit lower health total, but it doesn't cost us resources. It just draws us 1 card and then discards a card. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and Violet's Caress this for 2 points of damage, I believe. Yep, which kills it. And then we'll play Thunderfield Seer. And then we'll play Starcaller Ancient again. And now if the top card of our deck's in action, it's going to double twice. So we'll get 3 copies of it. Sweet. It's been this, so we should get 3 copies of this, I believe. Yep. So this looks at the top 2 and gives us 1, and then we get to draw a card afterwards. I think I'll take Runebind at this point. I think we have enough cards that we want to just, like, make sure we don't die here. And we just drew a bounty that draws 4 cards. So the try not to die plan seems like the best line here. And Runebinds and Transpogs and this Violet Caress probably means we're going to win this game. We want to try and find a Syzygy as soon as possible, so that way we can start making all of our cards cost less. So opponents finally had 6 resources here, so they're probably going to be able to snowball pretty quickly. They've got their Animus going now. Yep. So all their socketed cards get bigger in all zones. Stealing 3 currently. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and Thunderfield Seer here. Get a Prophecy on top of our deck. And then Bounty, hopefully draw that Prophecy. Sweet, so we have a bunch of Theorizes in our hand. Just casual 12 cards. Just transmog this. This one doesn't draw extra cards. Let's put that one over there. Transmog this. I guess I could Runebind something now too, but I think I'm just going to discard this non-prophesized Theorize and this the Sapphire Shard. Are the Knife Cat adventures canceled? See, I haven't touched Skyrim in a little while. I'm been meaning to play through and finish the storyline at some point, and if I do, I will likely stream it. But I'm not actually sure when I'm going to get around to that. And these Theorizes draw an extra card at the end, so I really don't care if they take my Starcaller Ancients off at this point. Like, I don't have any other prophecies pending. I don't have that many prophecy cards left in my deck. So, again, we're basically looking for a Syzygy at this point, so that way we can start snowballing our advantage and our resources. See a lot of cards this turn. Speaking of not having a lot of prophecy cards, I guess I'll take this. Play this. Looking for a Syzygy. Play this resource, draw a card. Play this Theorize, draw 2, discard 1, then draw a third. Don't really need Into the Unknown at this point, so I'll have to bend some cards here. I don't want this. Is this prophesized? This is prophesized. That one draws us a card, so maybe I want to keep that one. I guess I'm just spinning this resource. God, what's the last bin here? I don't think it's a Runebind, because Runebind is interaction, and we could just die. I'm going to bin the Exarch of the Egg. We've got plenty of ways to draw cards here. Sparrow is 21. Yep. And the decision does basically come down to the life total versus the champion power. Because Sparrow's power is obviously better, but, like, the fact that it's, what's the word I'm looking for? Its life total is, like, you know, almost 20% lower is a big deal. Yeah, there aren't that many relevant Immortal events. The Immortal events are unranked right now, so they only have one tournament every other month for it, and the only prize for the Immortal queue are the tournament tickets for that tournament. So I'm gonna go ahead and just Runebind that. Next turn, this Bounty is gonna draw 6 cards, hopefully one of which will be a Syzygy. There are only 21 cards left in my deck, I believe 3 of which are Syzygys. Yep. So we get 7 looks at a Syzygy here. 8 looks now with this. I guess we have Theorize too, technically they could find it. Yay! Syzygy! Alright, so Syzygy, again, makes our cards cost less when we play them. So we play the Syzygy out. And actually, I'm going to Champ Power here, because we could hit another Syzygy. Like that, right there. So I'm going to discard that. I'm going to play the second Syzygy out. And now my Violet's Caresses will be free. So we'll Violet's Caress this for 2. And then we'll Violet's Caress their face. And then we'll Violet's Caress their face. And then we'll play this Theorize, which will make my next Theorize free. You could say we're doing it. Let me draw another card, and then we'll play this next Theorize. Oh, I should have put this Violet's Crest back in my deck here. This was a mistake. Discard this site at this point. That's fine. They're exactly dead. So this one deals 6, and then this one deals 7. And I actually killed one of their things that we didn't have to kill because I didn't realize we were going to fully combo this turn. So we actually had 3 extra. So that's how we combo, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first time we got to do that this morning. So we got run out of those first few games. But yeah, that's the combo. Get the Syzygy going. Draw a bunch of cards. Combo through the deck. I don't know if I like Into the Unknown. Yeah, it's probably fine. I'm just going to submit. I like Into the Unknown in general. I don't know if I like it in this matchup. It's probably okay. This is game 3, yep. Game the third. I'm gonna run upstairs and click my AC up a touch. It's kind of hot in my basement. Be right back. Hot down here, homeboy. Alright, yep, that sounds okay. The slow shards again, it might be a touch too many slow shards here because I'm playing 8 ice. 8 ice might be too many. But Zan's got Seer. I'm gonna put a resource on top of this, and it's got Runebind and Exarch. So we've got some nicely shaped speed bumps here. I think they only have 1 Crypt Curse Knight. Alter, sure. Yeah, if they, I'm surprised this is still in their deck. Like, I feel like they don't want to set up to grind against us. I'm going to put another resource on top of my deck here. And the reason for this is, this guarantees I'm not going to draw this right away next turn, which means I can do this and then Champ Power first, which would be nice. I guess I have to draw Sapphire to do that in a relevant order, because this is going to... Fate Weave and Prophecy is not exactly a combo deck. This is not a 12 resource deck. We're playing 20, I believe. Let me count. 8, 14. There's 19 resources in this deck, actually. Which is a reason we have 8 Fate Weave shards. So not quite max greed, but pretty close. Non-slow shard is aces here because it means that I get to Into the Unknown this. This is one of my opponent's better cards. It makes all their things larger. So we get to go ahead and pick up... We get to go ahead and not only does it bounce that card to their hand, but it turned that card into something else, and all other copies of that card in their deck are something else now. So there are no more Animus of Nulzan in their deck. Yeah, there's definitely some awkwardness in what we have going on here, but I think overall what we're doing is powerful enough that it's worthwhile. Yep, sure. We got a Crusader. Probably going to Runebind that next turn. I mean, I am adorable, so that's understandable. We did not draw our Prophesied card yet. Sweet. So let's play this and then hit this. Hopefully the next card is our Prophesied card. Ding, 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 ding. Been an Exarch of the Egg here, so we get double Theorize. Play this out. Put a... I think I actually want a resource on top of my deck here, so we just get to guaranteed keep hitting our resource drops. No, Runebind hits the cards in play too. This card's insane. It's like this weird remand tempo. Yeah, Runebind is, it's very good in decks like this that want, that can like benefit from just like delaying their opponent and then combo kill them. This is like a combo deck's Wet Dream counterspell. Yes, yeah, I agree. It's very, very good. Alright, let's Runebind this dork, so it can't attack me this turn. I think I want to lead on Theorize this turn. See what we find. Draw 2, discard 1, and then draw an extra. Bunch of Transmogs, that's pretty good. Huh. Yeah, I think I don't need the Exarch at that point. Sure. Deck says have an Exarch. Alright, I guess I'll just play it out. Makes them use their enchant power, I suppose. Yeah, it's Troop or Card on the Chain. It's a very powerful card. But like I said, like if you're playing some kind of grindy control deck, like, this isn't effect you want, because, like, it doesn't actually answer the card, it just delays it. So it's good in combo decks like what I'm playing here, basically. It's very, very good in combo decks. It's a big boy with flight. I got double Fate Weave there. Hopefully they don't have a way to interrupt my Transmogrifade here. Bad for us if they did. Polyberry Pouch. That was an Animus of Nulzan. I guess this lets them get rid of my Starcaller Ancient here. Sweet. So the rune lets them replay it for free. So as soon as they draw a card, they generate back all the tempo. All you did was delay them. So it's not actually card advantage. It's just a delay. It's a temporary solution to a permanent problem if you can't kill your opponent quickly. Lead on Theorize here, see what we find. Another Bounty of the Magus. Alright, been the ice for now. Syzygy. Alright, Syzygy means we're probably going to start snowballing here, which would be great. I'm going to pass the turn here since this Bounty of the Magus is quick. So this one will draw 1, and this one will draw 2, and this one will only cost 2 because of Syzygy. Yep, see, like, they got their Underworld Crusader back, but we delayed them, and our deck's a combo deck, so, like, delaying them is good in my combo deck. You want this? Hey, Jake. You want a different show? Oh, glad we didn't have any prophecies pending. Make my Exarch not block, I assume. Yep. Grip Curse Knight, yep. What do you want? You want this? Where's your bowl? Where's your bowl? Bring your bowl. I think for the sake of resource efficiency, I want a bounty here as opposed to transmogging. I'm only taking 6 here, so yeah, I'm gonna block the 3-2 that would give them another thing. No, I don't think so. I think I just do that so I can get my bounty going. Because I have this Syzygy in play, like, we could realistically combo them next turn with 2 bounties in my hand. We just, like, run a little bit good here. We have a redraw on our champion power here, too. Drew another bounty, yep. So the second bounty is going to draw 2 and cost 2, and the third bounty is going to draw 3 and cost 1. Here you go. And then the bounties we draw from here. Yeah, sweet. So we might just combo them this turn. So now this bounty's going to draw 4 and cost 0. Alright, so what are we doing at this point? I'm not sure if it's right to sight or focus. Are we dead next turn? Is the question we have to ask myself, I guess. I think I'm just supposed to play through these focuses and try and find another bounty to continue going off. I've not cast a Caress yet, I don't believe. Huh. I'm gonna draw a discard here, I think. We need another Transmog. Well, that's actually pretty good. So we get to do this. And then I have Transmog plus Caress I can play this turn. So I think I'm actually just passing to my opponent. And then we try and finish comboing next turn. So I want to keep a resource in my hand to play, I think. I want Caress Transmog to play this turn. I don't think I need another Syzygy at this point. Exarch of the Egg's not going to do anything. Do you need another Starcaller Ancient or another Lanupaw site? I guess Sight's kind of expensive. I have to discard another card here. I guess I'm probably going to hit another resource next turn. That's probably greedy to assume. Would have been the Starcaller Ancient. I probably only need one. Sure. I guess if they're smart and they poach this, we might be in trouble. So I can Transmog this, and then Transmog this for free, because it'll be free from Syzygy, and then I can Violet's Caress this, and then do some blocking. Sure. So we're not going to die this turn, then we're going to draw a bunch more cards next turn, and then we just need to basically find a bounty to draw most of the cards in our deck. That's a 5/5, that's annoying. I still don't think we're dead. Guess I haven't actually counted. Alright, so Transmogging this takes a bunch of power off the table, right? And then I can Violet's Caress this one. And then I can Transmogrifade. I'm just like not even dead to this board, right? I'm gonna Transmogrifade the Underworld Crusader into a 1-drop here. Still has 4 power. Alright, yeah, that could have gone better. This is 4, 8, 9, 10, 12. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 13. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna block like this. Alright, gotta combo him this turn. Thunderfield Seer, let's do it. Play Theorize, draw 2. Looking, oh baby. Yep, okay, they should be dead here. So this bounty copies itself, so this draws 7 cards, and this draws 8 cards. Wow, we still didn't draw a, this one draws 7 cards. There's four Caresses in our deck. There's a Violet's Caress. Oh, there were Spider Eggs in my deck. Well, that's good to know about. Forgot about that. So, let's go ahead and Caress here. Let's draw... Draw 8 cards with this one. This one draws 9, right? Let's draw 9. We gotta try not to deck ourselves here. And we Violet's Caress you. And we Violet's Caress you. And then we Violet's Caress you. And then we play this Thunderfield Seer out here, which prophesizes my next action. So we can then play Theorize. We prophesied onto a Violet's Caress, so that one's going to double up. So then we Violet's Caress you. Look at all these. Look at all this extra damage we had. All right, Storm is infinite. And then we Violet's Caress them again. God, we could do so much damage this turn. This deck's a hoot. I don't know. This deck probably isn't good. Like, we got destroyed by Redlings, but like, when this deck goes off, I just like draw all the cards, shoot you, draw all the cards, shoot you, like, oh baby, oh baby. So I don't think we can technically go infinite because at a certain point, the bounties of the Maguses draw enough cards that will deck and lose the game. Like, I couldn't actually cast another bounty there. So much caressing, this used to be a family show. Maybe, like, you need a critical mass of cards. You need a critical mass of cards that lets you, what's the word I'm looking for? You need a critical mass of cards that lets you, like, cycle through your deck to, like, be consistent, too. Am I still live? Did my Hex lock up? That's a new one. Huh. I guess I'll relog. They updated the Unity engine in one of their patches, and it seems like that was probably a mistake. They're having lots of issues with it. Oh, I could have gone infinite with the draw one caress. Yeah, that's fair, Tom. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Alright, yep, keep. I mean, like, we already saw a patch over the weekend, right? What issues were there with the last CCS? I played the last CCS, everything went fine. Or are they issues that only affected a select few people? Someone's playing OVO. Could be the OVO deck that we played the other day, or a dedicated OVO Reanimator deck. I'm a few Reanimator decks in the ladder. Like, as in how. Like, that's really not specific at all. I don't remember anyone on my team having an issue either. I don't recall any issues with the last one. There were like 2 or 3 ago where people like were unable to join correctly. Play this out. I think I'm just going to pass with Caress up here. Honestly, like, my hand's pretty good, so I don't think I want to theorize into anything specifically right now. And I would like to have this Caress in my deck when I cast the Lanupaw Sight and the Thunderfield Elder, so that way I have a better chance of putting a Prophecy onto an Escalate card. There was one CCS that I know had issues. Some people had connection issues. I know for sure. It wasn't the last one, though. Also, if there were actually issues in the last CCS X Dowzo, you'd have an invite to this one, right? Like the one time that there were issues with the CCS, they gave everyone that had an issue a special invite to the following one to make up for it. Well, the last CCS also had more than 128 players in it because they had people come from special invites from the... Yeah, it was 2 ago because we had an 8-round CCS. Alright, so we're racing a Gargolith now. Alright. Hit our champ power here, hopefully draw a resource. Ding, ding, ding. Am I bidding that? And the Transmog doesn't do anything at this point because they have Gargolith. I don't think that's true, Dowzo. Let's play this out. I guess maybe I should hold this Runebind up this turn, but like getting both of these in play and then playing Thunderfield Elder out next turn and then drawing some cards means we could get a really powerful like double 3 copies of a copy spell. And like if it's Violet's Caress, we'll just like snowball off and kill them, which would be sweet. They can't cheat something into play for another 2 turns because in order for their deck to cheat something into play, they need Ovo to work. So we'll take a hit for 7 here, which is conveniently a 4-turn clock since Caress gained us a life. Oh, that's fair, Tom. I didn't think about that, Tom. I forgot that Caress interacts with their combo. That's very true. You're rune binding my thing. Yeah, that's fine. Because I'm going to play this resource and draw a card. And if I draw another resource, it's going to come back. Theorize. Play this. Look for a resource. We miss. That's really unfortunate, actually, because we would have prophesized onto that. If we'd hit a resource there. This gives me a chump block for a turn, which is nice. I mean, Hex is pretty open and transparent about all the things that they do. If you look, they posted why they did the things they did. They posted who was getting the extra invites and why. There were people that missed qualification on because of an issue in the ladder, I believe, or like the tournament system. They had some issues when they transferred over from Gameforge for sure. And they made it right by giving out a couple of extra invites, which is fine. Like, it's a couple extra people in tournaments, not a big deal. Yeah, definitely next game we're going to be a little bit better about this. That's Runic diminishing. Let's try and hold that off for now. Syzygy's a good hit, especially with all these Theorizes in my hand. That's really gross. So now this is going to diminish my Mystic runes. So now they just, like, never come back? Wow, that's dirty. That's, like, really good that they had. And that's, again, like, Runebind. Man, that's just, like, the card of the set. Yeah, they're getting updates out much faster and fixing issues quicker, which is ideal. Man, that's brutal. Get to make some pocket armies, right? I mean, they do. Pocket armies do chump block this. The problem is that if they get Ageless and I don't have a way to break up their lock. And actually, I'm going to make a pocket army and hold it in my hand because when this comes off of this, it's going to make my thing smaller again. Am I supposed to wait on this Syzygy because this is over here too? Maybe. Well, I guess I can just like burn through these Theorizes if I don't wait, which would be nice. Yeah, I 10 out of 10 messed up this game because it didn't occur to me that this was quick and would be able to kill their Phantom in response to them targeting it with Ovo. Although it looks like they probably would have had the Runebind for it, but... No, it does not revert. Just transforms. Pocket Army is this card. No attack is weird. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold this Syzygy for now. 2 more Caresses. Well, Transmog doesn't have a text box, so let's just get rid of that. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna send these Caresses upstairs and just like hope to burn them out. I don't want to cast Syzygy because Runic Diminishing is going to come off at some point when they draw a resource, and then that'll turn my Syzygy into something bad. Man, is it hung again? Maybe we'll end early today. This has not been a good time. Just like mono. Reconnected twice this match now. Alright, now we're waiting on my opponent. They're probably waiting for me to reconnect. I just stepped away for a second. Lightly caress them to death. Sorry for the delay while we wait for my opponent to come back. We're like a medium minus spot. This is going to make all our crap smaller again. But like, maybe we can Syzygy and then get these Violet's Caresses snowballing. We've got 2, 3, 4 damage here. So that's 7. And these Theorize might be able to pull us through. There's kind of a kick in the dick that they were able to Runebind our Thunderfield Elder and then prevent us from prophesying so we couldn't double things up with Starcaller Ancient. We really kind of needed that card advantage to win this game, I think. My opponent had their internet connection drop out. They're reconnecting now. So that one is not Hex's fault. That's theirs. Oh, thank you everyone for hanging out here today. This is going to be our last match of Hex for the morning. I'd like to say thank you for watching. If you want to see more of this deck and you didn't catch my stream last night, there's an archive of this on my YouTube channel already. We played with a little bit different variation of this. I was playing Dreaming Fox as the champion last night. How has Theorize been here? It's card we're not expecting Exarch. Theorize has been very powerful. Theorize is also nice because, like, we're playing 4 copies of... I was... God bless America! I was talking and I forgot to make a pocket army. That should have made a pocket army, so I had a pocket army to play out. God damn it. Ugh. Anywho, it's very reasonable in this deck, especially because it lets us discard extra Syzygies after we draw them, which is nice. I mean, it kind of screws over. Like, it makes that one copy worse, but the rest of them are still bigger. Do you have, like, one that's slightly worse? That's Stradolith, that's fine. It's not the one that locks us out of the game. Okay, not having a pocket army no longer matters because I wouldn't have been able to block with it anyways because Stradolith gives their dorks flying. Does it? We can gain a bunch of life. Does gaining life not save us? This saves us now, right? If they don't have a Runebind here. Let's go like upstairs, upstairs, upstairs. This says 5, so we actually need to hit 2 more, right? Actually, I can attack with these. And we only need to hit 1 more because I'm hitting them for 2 here. Just gonna put them to 10, and then we hit 1 more Violet's Caress and they die. Not necessarily. I don't know exactly what I want to draw, what my sequencing could be. I guess now we wanted to draw extra caresses. Yeah, Gargolith means their things can't be targeted. Seriously? Oh, this gives them invincible, and it has spell shield, so... Yep. Good beat. So, we actually can't win the game anymore. Our troops are invincible, and that has spell shield. We don't have a way to break that up. That sucks. Just gonna take a draw to see if we would have killed them if they didn't have this, but then we'll go to the next game. Yeah, we'd have bricked anyways. It was very close. You're not wrong. And like we got pretty ranched by where their Runebinds ended up coming up. So bring in these Withering Gazes. I don't think this is a Psychic Ascension matchup. Runebind seems great. I don't really think we need Runic Diminishing. I think I'd rather just, like, break their stuff up. Like, and that game snowballed, too, because I didn't hold up the Violet's Crest to interact with their thing. This matchup's probably not bad for us if I have a brain and play properly. Get rid of an Elder, maybe. It's a little clunky. Pretty easy redraw here. If that had an Ice, we'd probably keep it. And this hand's very reasonable. So we're going to use Ice to put a resource on top of my deck here. Waltz of the Damned, right? Not Waltz of the Dead. Similar, probably. Probably just go Syzygy into focus this turn. Start making our things cheaper right away. Ideally, we want to find a Violet's Crest so we can interact with their combo if they try to go for it on 3. Another Runebind. Yeah, that's probably fine, especially because after we play this first Runebind, the second one's going to be free. I've actually not tried Zip Zapper in this deck. Maybe we should try that. Zip Zapper's pretty good with bounty. It's another must-answer threat. Maybe we'll try that later this week. Doesn't seem completely unreasonable. Snack Size Biscuit with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Subscriptions are the best way you could support my content, so welcome and thank you for that next level of support. Next Theorize is cheaper. Bin this extra resource for now. Play this out. And I think I want to hold Runebind up this turn. My opponent could very likely go for the combo. I don't think I want to cast this other Theorize. I mean, we get to that point without this too. Zip Zapper would just be ideal for like making bounties less embarrassing. Do you want Cheerios? No. Okay, Dad's gonna finish this match, and then we're gonna go upstairs and get some lunch, okay? Gotta wait for Dad to finish his match, bud. So I'm going to go ahead and Runebind this because I don't want them to be able to discard a card to put a fatty into their bin. That's their discard outlet, basically. And now I can freely Lanupaw's Sight here because this Runebind is free. And we have a Violet's Caress now as well. Nice. Maybe I'm supposed to hold the Violet's Caress up. I could Champ Power here to try and draw a card, hit a resource. But I don't really want to discard any of these cards, so yeah, I'm just going to wait. I think using the Champ Power aggressively with this deck is often wrong. Hey, buddy, it's okay. Maybe I'm supposed to Runebind that so they can't have a discard outlet. Just re-Runebind it. Hi, Jake. You can't attack with this turn. And if we get to untap with Violet's Crest, we're in a pretty good spot. Oh, you want a different show? We don't want to watch Sam anymore? Mm-mm. Alright, let's lead on Withering Gaze here. See what they got going on over here. What you want? You want to watch Daniel Tiger? Umis? No, not Umis? We're going to Runebind that. I'm going to let that happen because I have a Theorize here, so I'm probably going to get to play this. I'm probably going to get to replay this because I'm going to draw a resource here. Our Champion Power also gives us another shot at this. A free Withering Gaze. Okay, I'm going to bin a Runebind at this point, I think. Cast this Withering Gaze, see what you got over here. I'm gonna hit this here because we could hit a shard and recast this one now. Did not hit a shard. Huh. I think I actually don't want this Runebind. It's kind of a good insurance plan. Yeah, the Violet's Caress draws a card too. Kind of unfortunate that we didn't hit a resource there. I guess I'm leaving myself kind of exposed, right? Yeah, this was probably bad. Okay, Jacob Jeffrey. It's okay, buddy. I get a bunch of shots at it now. Maybe I should have just left the Caress up this turn. Yeah, that's true. Worth noting that I need a second blood to cast that, though, too, so things to think about. They probably should Theorize after they attacked here. That way they got an extra draw before they discarded. I would like to Withering Gaze you. I don't know what show you want, Jacob. You need to use words to tell Dad. Okay, I'm going to take this Theorize away since they have a bunch of Transmogs. And they have 2 Rian. You want Super Y? You want songs? And now I'm just going to leave up Violet's Caress, I think. Alright, and it's too hot down here for you to be on my lap, bud. I know you're going to be upset here, but it's too hot for you to be on my lap. They don't give us something to Caress because they try to combo. We can just go ahead and Bounty. Which making bounties cheaper is not a bad thing. Theorize, sure. Syzygy's kind of a poopy draw. Maybe I should have just played this. I guess I don't want to leave them an opening where I don't have Violet's Cross up, so I'm just going to pass here. It's a little awkward. I'm just getting beat down by this Alchemite, so, like, they've kind of got us between this rock and this hard place. Because, like, I need to leave this up as interaction. Go ahead and just block here. We might not get to block later. This is worth saving the 3 points of life. I don't think so. I think I want to hold this to discard to my champion power. That's pretty good. It's awkward if they have a Runebind, though, because these draws depend on resolution. Which means if they Runebind this, I'm not going to get the draw. So I think I'm actually going to wait on... I think I'm going to wait on playing this until I can, like, Withering Gaze them or have a Runebind of my own to fight over it. They didn't have Runebind last time we looked at their hand, but they could now. Yeah, 10 out of 10 gonna lead on this, probably. Oh, right, it doesn't revert it. Yeah, you're right, Bob. Bobby is right. The rune still plays. Or still resolves and then draws his cards. Yep, Bob's right. Alright, so we'll probably just fire this off. Yeah, thank you for the reminder, Bob. Right, we learned that the other night. Alright, there's a Gargolith. Well, now let's see if they have a Runebind to stop me from killing their thing. Yep. They're going to Chant Power this. I'm going to attempt to Withering Gaze it in response, or Violet's Caress it in response. It's a shame that resource was a slow shard, otherwise I'd be able to Violet's Caress it again. Whoa! The Gargolith blowouts. Alright, well at least that one goes back. I'm not going to draw cards. Oh! Oh, the free... Oh, it's got Spell Shield. I was like, wait, the free Runebinds are great. No, they're not. It's got Spell Shield. Alright, well then. Alright, well, let's put a non-resource on top of my deck and then hit my champion power. Yep, like I said, they ported to the new Unity engine and there have been a lot of graphical bugs since, so... Yeah, but it keeps it off the table for a turn show, which is fine. The problem with this deck is that maybe I want 4 Lanupaw sites in this deck still. Maybe those are better than Thunderfield Seer or Thunderfield Elder. Just like go 4-2 in the other direction. Because like I feel like we keep running out of cards in these games. So like having more ways to draw cards seems ideal. I don't think this deck is tier 1. It's fun. I like drawing all the cards in my deck, but the more I play this, the more I become convinced that it's just like not particularly good overall. There's 1 Psychic Ascension in the board for the control matchups. Alright, well. Probably dead. When this comes back into play, we're gonna die. I guess we have their Runic Diminishing in our deck. Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with that. Oh, let's put a non-resource on top of our deck here. Bounty of the Magus helps you combo. When you combo off, it involves Bounty of the Magus. Watch some of the matches from last night where we comboed, or the second match from today when the replays go up. Bounty of the Magus is one of the reasons why the deck is playable. So yeah, I feel like I agree with Bob. We just don't have enough card selection or card advantage. So I feel like I should probably have 4 Lanupaw sites in the deck. We played 4 Lanupaw sites last night, and I think we comboed a little bit more consistently then, and that was probably part of the reason why. Want some Cheerios? Okay, last bit of Cheerios. After this match, we're gonna go upstairs and get some real lunch, okay? Not that you eat real lunch, Brett. Yep. Oh, pocket army again, sure. I think with 4 copies of Theorize and our champion power to discard extra copies, you want the card that makes your deck go into overdrive. You want the maximum number of copies that make your deck go into overdrive. And that's what Syzygy does. This deck is much worse without a Syzygy on the table. So between our champion power discarding and Theorize discarding, I definitely want to play 4 copies of Syzygy. The deck with Syzygy on 1 and the deck with Syzygy not on 1 are much different. The deck is much more powerful when you have a copy of Syzygy on 1. Theorize is better with Starcaller Ancient, which is one of our ways to win the game. And Theorize is better with Lanupaw's site, because you can't change course after a Lanupaw site, because you'll get rid of 1 or more of your Prophecy cards into the bin. So change course is definitely much worse than Theorize. And they found their Runic Diminishing, so probably dead. Yep. Alright, at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. It's about time to get the kids ready for some lunch, and the client's been hanging a lot. It's a little frustrating. We'll go ahead and update the deck list here before we close it out. I think the big change I want to make is just, like, these elders for these sites. Because we have been, like, running out of cards in these games, and we need something to help us make up from the fact that, like, Violet's Caress in the early game, like, isn't really a card against a lot of decks. Like, if dealing 1 or 2 points of damage isn't relevant, we're basically just, like, having this card in our deck and drawing it and it being awkward. So I think having more Prophecy with actual card advantage is where we want to be in life. At any rate, thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and take off. I'm going to get the archives uploading and all that jazz. Catch y'all around. I'll be back on tomorrow afternoon with some more Hex TCG goodness.